Hi, 5th grade. Today in math, we are doing lesson 8.4, and it is over measuring length, how we do it in the United States. So remember, we've already learned King Henry died drinking chocolate milk. That is the measurement system that all of the other countries use. Now we need to talk about how we measure things in the United States, because remember, we don't use the metric measurement system. Ours is called the customary measurement system. So these measurements are going to seem more familiar to you. However, they're kind of a little bit harder to convert. So we kind of have to do it a little bit different. It's not just going to be moving a decimal one way or the other depending on our hops. We have to use kind of this chart to help us remember. So let's fill in our chart first. 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. Now, there is no saying or any easy way to remember that. You just have to know that 1 foot equals 12 inches. So you need to store that in your mind if you did not already know that. Then we have 1 yard. A yard is equal to 3 feet or 36 inches. So again, you need to remember that 1 yard is 3 feet or 36 inches. Now, this next box dealing with the miles, I don't expect you to know this off the top of your head. It's okay to have to look back at this. But really, these things we should be able to remember. So let's try to remember those. The miles you might not remember as well. So 1 mile is 1,760 yards, which would be the same as 5,280 feet. Okay, so we might have to use our chart to look back at those, but we're going to try to remember these two that we talked about. Now, let's look at these in order from smallest to biggest. So our smallest form of measurement is inches. If I wanted to measure something that's not very big, I'm going to use inches. The next one in order from smallest to biggest would be feet. Remember, that's like the length of a ruler. So we have inches, a little bit bigger would be feet. The next bigger would be yards. Getting a little bit bigger. And then the biggest, if I want to measure a long distance, it's going to be the mile. So miles. So inches is the smallest all the way up to miles, which is our biggest. Now, here's a little helpful hint. We're going to write it right here. It's going to be very important, but it's not going to make a ton of sense right now. We'll use it here in just a second, though. If I'm going bigger, I need to divide. If I'm going smaller, I need to multiply. Okay, I'm going to highlight that because that's going to be really important. Kind of like when we were doing King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk, and you had to do your hops the certain way and make sure that you went the same way. This is kind of like that rule for when we do it in the United States. Bigger we divide, smaller we multiply. So we have to remember that. Bigger divide, smaller multiply. All right, let's start with our conversions here. I'm going to show you how we do this in the United States. So if I have 24 inches and they want me to convert it to feet, first I like to circle my labels. This tells me what I have. I have inches and I'm going to feet. Now I want to ask myself, am I going to a bigger measurement or a smaller measurement? Inches to feet means I'm getting bigger, so I need to divide. So I'm going to take 24 because that's how much I have, divided by, and here's where I need to use my chart. How many inches are in a foot? So I'm going to look at my two labels. Inches in a foot. Well, 1 foot is 12 inches, so I need to divide by 12. Now, this part should go pretty quickly. These are like multiplication facts by the time you get to here. So 12 into 24 would be 2 times, and it would go exact. So this would be 2 feet. Let's try another one so that we can get the hang of it. First, I'm going to circle my labels. Now, this one's a tiny bit backwards because what I know is back here. So I have miles, and I'm going to yards. So I have miles, and I'm going to yards. So we are getting smaller, which means I need to multiply. So I'm going to take 3 because that's how many I have, times, and then I need to use my chart. Miles and yards. How many yards are in a mile? Well, 1 mile is 1,760 yards. So I need to multiply by 1,760. Now, this one's not as quick. I need to stack that up because that's not a multiplication fact. So stacking this up so that I can work it out. I'm going to work this out real quick. This is just regular multiplication. 5,280. So that would be my answer. Alrighty. We're going to skip around a little bit. We're not going to do all of these just to save some time on the video. So let's go ahead and skip over to this one. First, remember, I'm going to circle my labels so that I can see what I have. I'm going from 12 feet and converting to inches. So I'm going from feet to inches, which means I'm getting smaller. So I need to multiply 12 times, and then I need to use my chart. Feet and inches. How many inches are in a foot? Inches in a foot would be 12. I could stack that up, or if I know my 12s, 12s times 12 is 144. If you don't know your 12s, then you need to stack it up and you need to work it out. Using your X's and your O's would still give you 144. Oops, sorry, you couldn't see the bottom of that. There you go. Still give you 144. All right, let's skip that one and do this one. Remember, we're just skipping around to save time on the video. They would all be exactly the same. So first I'm circling my labels. Now notice this one's a little bit backwards. What I know is back here, so start back here. I'm going from 6 yards and I want to convert to feet. So yards to feet, I'm getting smaller, so I need to multiply 6 times, and then I have to use my chart. How many feet are in a yard? 1 yard equals 3 feet, so I need to multiply by 3. That is a multiplication fact. 6 times 3 is 18, so that would be 18 feet. Alrighty, let's go ahead and do this one next. We have 24 feet, and we are converting to yards. So we're going feet to yards. That means I'm getting bigger, so I need to divide 24 divided by, then I have to use my chart. I have feet and yards. How many feet are in a yard? 1 yard is 3 feet, so I need to divide by 3. That would be 8. That's a multiplication fact, so you should know that pretty quick. My answer would be 8. And we will go ahead and skip this one just to save time. We do have another section down here at the bottom, so let's look at that. It says calculate the perimeter in feet. Now, perimeter just means I add up all the sides to see how long it is around the outside of the shape. But the important part, it says in feet. So I have to make sure all of my measurements are in feet before I add them up. So let's look at this triangle first. Well, this side's in feet, this side's in feet, but this side is not, so I need to convert it. So I'm going to put equals blank feet. I'm going to make it look like just like these problems I was doing up here, and we're going to convert it over. So I'm going to circle my labels. I'm going from inches to feet. So I'm going to look up here. Inches to feet, I'm getting bigger, so I need to divide. So I'm doing 36 divided by, and then remember I'm going to use my chart. Inches to feet, There are 12 inches in 1 foot, so I need to divide by 12. That is a multiplication fact if you know your 12s. Otherwise, you would work it out and you would get a 3. So this side is 3 feet long. Then I'm going to cross out where it has the inches because I have just converted it and changed it over to feet. Now all of my sides match in feet, so I would just add them up because that's what perimeter means. 5 and 4 is 9, plus 3 more for over here would be 12. So the perimeter of this triangle is 12 feet. The adding is the easy part, but I have to make sure they're all in the same units before I do that. And I knew it's feet because that's what they told me up here it needed to be. All right, let's do our other shape here. We have a triangle connected to a rectangle here. I'm looking for sides that I need to convert. Some of them are good, but some of them need to be converted. Like this one. This is in inches, so I'm going to put equals blank feet because I need to change it over to feet. Circle my labels. I'm going from inches to feet, so I'm looking up here. Inches to feet means I'm getting bigger, so I need to divide. 24 divided by, and then I need to use my chart, inches to feet. Well, 1 foot is 12 inches, so I need to divide by 12. 12 into 24 is 2 times. That is a multiplication fact. So 2 feet is what that would actually be. I'm going to cross off the inches because I have converted it over to feet now. All right, now I'm looking to see, I see one more that I need to convert, 12 inches right here. So equals blank feet. Circle my labels. Inches to feet is what I'm doing. So again, looking up here, sorry, there you go. Inches to feet, I'm getting bigger, so I need to divide. So 12 divided by, then I'm going to use my chart. Inches to feet is 12. So back down here, 12 divided by 12. Well, 12 divided by 12 would just be 1. So this side would be 1 foot. I'm going to cross off my inches because I've converted it over. Now all my sides match in feet, but I noticed something here. This side of my rectangle does not have a measurement. How big would this side of my rectangle be? Well, this side would be the same as this side, which I just said was 1 foot. So I need to put 1 foot here. Sometimes I have to use my information to fill in any missing sides that I might have. Now they all match and they all have a measurement, so I'm going to add them up to get the perimeter of this shape here. So 2 and 2, that would be 4. 5, 6, plus 3 would be 9. So the perimeter of this triangle rectangle combination is 9 feet. Remember, the adding part is easy for the perimeter. It's making sure that all of my measurements match before I do so, that we are practicing. Now, if you are at home doing your assignment, you're going to need this chart so that you know the different amounts that equal to each part when we measure length in the United States. So if you need to pause the video here, and then you have your bigger and your smaller hint to help you out. Go ahead and start on your assignment. Good luck. Do your best. Bye.